Good evening, everyone. You're tuned in to WRPBI TV and you're watching the Anything Bucket. Tonight in studio, I have a young lady that has done it all, from combat to Cosmo, from corporate America to philanthropy. She is the go-to person when it comes to jump-starting your business and enhancing your personal and professional life. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of the most sought-after business coaches in America, Miss Shelly Mitchell. Shelly, welcome to the Anything Bucket.
Thank you so much for being here. Wow. Can you do that for me every morning when I get up? That sounds really good.
It's going to be on tape, so all you have to do is play it. And talking about getting up in the morning and getting motivated and being successful, I tell everybody one of my favorite songs of all time is the Rocky music. You know?
Oh, yes. Definitely.
And it gets you going. And then the next step is to do a little gratitude and look up to the heavens, and you could call it God, Source, Spirit, Jesus, whatever you want to name it with that oneness connection. And I know that's something that you believe in too, is gratitude and helping others. But before we get into all the nuggets, let's find out a little bit about Shelly Mitchell and how you got started.
Oh, wow, how I got started. It's a very interesting way that I got started in coaching, but I've been in business my whole life. At 4 years old, I came home and I had money in my pocket, and my mom said, "Shelly, where'd you get the money?" I said, "I was selling things." She ran to the kitchen to make sure all of the small appliances were still there, and they were. And what she found out is I had gone to the street, picked up rocks, painted them, cleaned them up, painted them, and took them door to door and sold them as pet rocks. So I've been making money ever since. My struggle was staying focused and consistent, falling down, and when getting back up, going the same direction. And it took me about 40 years to figure that part out.
And you had an awesome, transformation. I know you were a sergeant in the military, and that must have been amazing and must have taught you a lot of leadership skills that you can use today. Tell us a little bit about that and how that has helped you become the coach that you are today.
I think that it's very key for somebody who wasn't able to figure out what they really wanted in life. When you go in the military thinking you're just getting money for school, and that was before everything broke out, and 4 years later I now have 2 combat patches and have been in 2 wars with Panama and Saudi Arabia, you start appreciating things that you take for granted, like running water and Taco Bell, right? And seeing a lot of death and different things going on. So what it did is help me focus on what I really wanted, and also made me appreciate things that we take for granted all the time. And I see that with clients when they come to me, or potential clients, they're in that place. They're not focused, and they're not really seeing or having that gratitude of what they do have in front of them and utilizing it to the best of their capability.
And I know one of the things, you had an awesome transformation. You talk in your bio on your website about finding yourself 100 pounds overweight, low self-esteem, being diagnosed with ADD, HD, and all these. It's the alphabet soup in America. Oh, they've got ADD, HD, they've got this, they've got that. But you didn't let that hold you back. You said, you know what? If I am going to be the change I want to see in the world,
that's right,
I need to change myself. And so many people want to change the world, but they're not willing to change themselves, or their business isn't doing well, and they're doing this. It's that person's fault. It's that one. It's the landlord's fault. It's government's fault. It's Barack Obama's fault. It's this one's fault. Instead of saying, you know what? I have an option. I can be part of the problem, or I can be part of the solution. So if you can tell us a little bit about your transformation, because I found that to be amazing. And a lot of people would have given up, but you didn't. You went forward and made a huge impact and are continuing to make an impact.
One of the things that I say is that you can wait for Prince Charming to show up and save you and take you away on the white horse. But what I've realized is you have to go get that saddle and saddle up your own horse. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting in the stables, because no one's coming. No one's coming to rescue you. The disaster that you have may have been created by yourself or certain circumstances out of your control, but you're the only one who's going to be able to fix it. I work hard. I've always worked hard, and I created a lot in my life. I was a vice president of a company by the time I was 35 years old, but I missed out on my son's life. I was a single mom, and I was traveling all the time. I was working hard because I thought that's what I was supposed to do for him. And I woke up one day and I realized that I was 262 pounds, Someone else had taught him how to tie his shoe and pulled his first tooth. His dad died when he was 12, and we were both diagnosed with ADHD at the same time, and I had lost my six-figure job, and we were losing our house because his father had died. And now it's like, well, what are we going to do? And my son looked at me, the genius that he is at 12, and he said, Mom, if you're going to be broke, would you rather do it by the beach or in the snow? I said, that's a good point, son. Get in the car. So we packed everything up, and I started working for another company part-time, and I said, you know what, I'm finally going to go out and start my business coaching practice that I had been trying to get off the ground while I was in corporate and direct sales. And we did. Things come to a place, and at the same time, I lost 100 pounds, and my son had heart surgery. I started making those changes in myself, and that's when everyone else magically around me started changing and making improvements. They just like, people come out from behind the trees. I always say, if you light yourself on fire, people are going to come and watch. Well, that's what happens. And then they just start making those changes with you. But until you start being part of the change, other people are not going to change.
And it's all mindset. It is. And you touched on something. You used the word try. So you owe me a quarter. Some coaches, they say the word try costs their clients $100. Because I go back to the Yoda scene, there's do or don't, there is no try. You're either making a transformation or you're not making that transformation. And I think where you come into play, which is very important for people, is they say, oh, I want to transform, I want to make that six-figure income, but they don't want to do the work. Or
they're not willing to do the work. Ooh. I'm very anti-magic pill. There are no magic pills, and this stuff doesn't work unless you do. And that's the whole point of everything. And that people, they want a magic pill, but there's no such thing. It's not. There's a solution, but it's not magic.
And we fall for shiny object syndrome. Man, it's
PSO. Is what I call them.
And I tell people there are no gurus or are no experts. You're your own guru. You're your own expert. What you have inside of you, you have talents that are amazing. I mean, we talked about it earlier before the show. We were talking about what I do with the public address announcing, having the TV show, the MC work, the voiceover work. And I discovered those talents at a later age. I didn't have somebody in my corner saying, oh, you're great, we want you to do this, you want to do that. We found my voice quite by accident with the Junior Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, wow,
and
that's awesome.
Their public speaking program. I became a Speak Up winner in February of 1990. In May of 1990, we decided we're going to hold a beautiful baby contest to benefit the St. Jude Children's Hospital. So what were the words out of my mouth? Listen, I've got this speaking voice. Give me the microphone. Why are we going to spend $1,200 to hire an MC? And at that point, I didn't realize I could get paid to be an MC.
And you've got the sexiest voice, let me tell you.
I
think I pierced him a little bit. No.
That's it. My ego, my head was this large before we started. Now we're not going to be able to fit out the door. But it's a great thing when you find that talent and you're able to utilize it, monetize it. And I know that's what you help people to do. You have a catchphrase that you use in your 1-minute elevator speech. If you could share that with your viewers so they get an insight into exactly what you do.
What I do is I typically work with the smart, creative, driven entrepreneur who has a passion and a gift and a strength, and they want to turn that into a real business. They may already have a business, but they're not making the money they truly deserve. They're not getting paid what they're worth. So what we do with them is we help them really get clear on their vision, create a plan, focus on their priorities and those things that actually make money, and make that money that they truly deserve. And that's where they're getting stuck. They're out there sharing their passion with everyone, and they're broke. God didn't put you here to be broke. He put you here with his gift so you can share with others and flourish in the world and be able to contribute. And that's what I do, is I help those people.
It's like one of my colleagues, Mia Merritt, says, she does a presentation and she has a book called Prosperity is Your Birthright.
I love it.
And you have the talents and the tools. What happens so many times is we want to do, like my bracelet says, help other people excel. And we want to do it so badly that we give our gifts away.
Yes.
And one of the things I've learned is free has no value.
People don't value it if you give it away. And what I noticed is the higher I raised my fees, the better clients I got. The more people took action, the more people had value for what I offered, and they used it to grow their own businesses. I have people now who started with me a year ago who didn't even have $97 to put a down payment on my smallest program, who's now putting on a huge 2-day event and dropped $6,000 on a hotel the other day. So because they value what they're getting. And if you're giving it away for free, that's what you're going to get back.
And there is a time and a place to donate your time and donate your services.
Yes.
I shared with Shelly earlier about my experience with the Lauderhill Broncos, the Pop Warner Football League.
That's so cool. Yes.
And it was great. I was volunteering my time. It was fantastic, having a good time with it. And 2 weeks ago, I show up and they gave me some money, so I'm no longer volunteer. I'm now paid announcer for the Lauderhill Broncos Pop Warner football team. But it's just because I never asked for it, and it was just putting my name out there. And if it's meant to be, it will be.
You put your gift out there.
Yeah, and that's all we do. Same thing. That's what Shelly has. She's got these great gifts, fantastic programs. If you could tell the audience a little bit of how they can connect with you if they wanted to take advantage of your services.
Absolutely. The first thing is, and I use this myself, is your daily success planner, and that will help you stay focused on the most important things during your day, which are your IPAs, the income producing activities, honoring yourself, and then the top thing that needs to get done at mypersonalbusinesscoach.com, and just click right there and you can get a free gift. I started sharing that with people, and that is something I use every single day, and I tripled my profits and my productivity with that. And then there's a contact button also there as well if you want to reach out to us, and we can set you up with what I call Catapult Your Cash strategy session with one of my coaches, and that's at mypersonalbusinesscoach.com.
Excellent. And we want to thank Shelly Mitchell for being here on the Anything Bucket. And Shelly, in closing, if you have one positive message that you could give to the viewers.
I do. Have fun, be fearless, and stay focused on what's most important in your life so you can go out and share your gifts with the world and make money doing it.
And once again, we encourage you to visit mypersonalbusinesscoach.com, connect with Shelly, get that free gift, and put yourself on a path to success by staying positive. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jonathan J. Dog Letterman. You're watching WRPBI TV. In our studios tonight, we have a very special guest. She's going to tell us about an excellent event to empower and inspire you. Please welcome Ms. Shelly Mitchell. Shelly, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. I wanted to share something really special and very quickly with your audience that I think would be fantastic. If you are one of those people who, did you have a lemonade stand growing up, or did you sell Girl Scout cookies? Really, were you an entrepreneur since you were a little kid? You may have possibly had a few businesses since then, and you're in business for yourself now, and you're tired of struggling, falling down, getting back up, and being overwhelmed in your business. You know that you have a gift and a passion and a strength to share with the world, but are not making the money you truly deserve. We're doing an amazing 3-day event called The Destined Entrepreneur, where you're destined to be an entrepreneur since you were a little kid. And it's about believing, focusing on things that are most important, and achieving your goals. And we're going to have some amazing speakers there from all over the world. A lot of people don't realize that I'm also a certified ADHD coach, so I incorporate those tools and tactics. So no more magic pills. It's all about bringing the simple solutions and the speakers and the skills to you to be able to simplify your business. Take all that stuff off of your plate that you don't want to do anymore. You know what I'm talking about, right? And then be able to go out and be the genius that you are so you can serve others. So if you need that in your business and those skills, please join us at this amazing 3-day event. It's in the spring of 2015. The website is www.destinedentrepreneur.com, and it is going to be in South Florida. And we have a couple of one-days also coming up, but it's the Destined Entrepreneur. It's the most fun group, the creative, right-brained, smart-driven entrepreneurs. We'd love to have you, and we'd love to see you. For more information, please go to destinedentrepreneur.com. Thanks, and have a fun, fearless, and focused day.
And thanks to Shelly Mitchell for bringing that event to South Florida. It'll be in the spring of 2015. It'll help you to to be the destined entrepreneur that you are, with fantastic speakers, a day of fun, a day of empowerment, and a day and 3 days of inspiration. And that's destinedentrepreneur.com.
Absolutely. It's time to go from lemonade stand to being the CEO of your business. I'm excited.